طبق معمول ما میگیم محاکمه داریم. محاکمه این نیست. بعد این هنوز وارد نشده، میگه خدای بزرگ من هرگز نه موشه به نمران بودم، نه اهرام بودم، نه بیوسف بودم و نه یعقوب بودم. من میدونم هیچ کس نیستم و خیلی عذرخواهی میکنه. بعد خداوند میگه عزیز دلم من هیچی از تو نخواستم، من فقط میخواستم تو ربای سو باشی.
Right. Right. Yes. He wants you to follow the 10 Commandments. That's it. If he had a dream for you, it would be to follow the 10 Commandments.
To see the beauty he sees in you, because you're his child. To recognize that we're all his children, and all of us inside are as beautiful as the next, and to acknowledge and feel that when you walk the earth.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
To get to your potential.
To get to your potential.
Have a destiny, assigned to you to fulfill it.
To stay strong and know that he's taking care of you, and that he's thinking of you, and he's going to see you through whatever challenges you're facing.
Beautiful.
Humble and patient.
Humble and patient. So if God is dreaming about you, he's dreaming that you're humble and patient, right?
I also think God dreams for you what you dream for yourself. What you ask of God when you speak to God, when you speak your words, God will deliver what you ask for. And so be careful what you ask for, but ask for what you want.
So the answer lies actually in this month of Sivan, which, by the way, Rosh Chodesh is not today, is on Tuesday. Rosh Chodesh Sivan is on Tuesday. And in order to understand what God's dream is for us as a cumulative, and then there is the individual, we need to understand where we are at, and we need to understand what was accomplished on Matan Torah, which is on Shavuot. What happened on Matan Torah? We need to understand where we were and where we came to. And then from there, where we moved to and where we are here, where we are today. That's the journey of our soul. That's the journey of who we are. It's not just the journey of the Israelites who walked 3,000 years ago into the desert. It's the journey of ourselves. It's the journey of our own understanding, of our own awareness, of our own slavery coming into freedom, and what that really means. So where we are at right now is when we were walking in the desert. We were slaves in Egypt. We got freed through the plagues and through the miracles that happened. And we are in the desert. On Rosh Chodesh Sivan, we reach to Mount Sinai. And for 3 days, Hashem, for the first few days, Hashem talks to Moshe, gives them the preparation, how to prepare. And then a few days later, on the 6th of Sivan, we receive the Torah. What happened on Matan Torah? What happened? Anybody?
So, isn't there a midrash that Hashem actually lifted the mountain up over them, and it was almost like they were afraid, like they had to either accept it or the mountain would come down on top of them, and also when they heard Hashem's voice, it was so awesome that their souls left their bodies and then they had to be resuscitated. So, in a way, we were preparing for it. Actually, all through the days of when they left Mitzrayim, they were on the 49th level of impurity, and then each day they lifted themselves up one level, and they made themselves completely pure. Then they ritually purified themselves, and they were told to wash themselves and wash their clothing. But even at that point, they were still given like this message from God that we have to accept the Torah or it would be leading to their destruction.
So we were kind of forced to.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, if that's really what the Midrash is telling us, then it was a very terrorizing experience, but very spiritually awesome.
I don't think so. No.
No,
I tell you what, okay, that's a metaphor.
Right.
That's a metaphor. We have to understand a lot of these are metaphors. You have to understand when you are in presence of greatness and you know it, you have no other choice but to be great. When you are in presence of godliness and you know that you are part of that godliness, you have no choice but to say yes. No choice. Because you yourself get it. You understand it. You get that I am part of this godliness. That my neshama is an inheritance from Hashem. You get it when you're standing there and you're standing in the awesomeness of 2 million people, and you're standing in the awesomeness of Moshe Rabbeinu being able to hold 2 million people and hold their consciousness and elevate their consciousness to a level where they themselves are able to see their own godliness. You have no choice but to say yes. No choice. It's only when we fall into, and I don't want to say fall, when we come back into our own everyday habits and our own everyday murmur and our own everyday doubt of can I, should I, would I, who am I, where am I, why should I, am I even worth it, do I deserve this? That's when we question, and that's when we say, I don't know. But when you are standing there and you know with 100% assurity, there is no doubt. You know this is your inheritance. You know this is who you are. There is absolutely no room left for anything but to say, yes, I will do it. Absolutely, I'm part of you. How can I say anything else?
Right, so that's our challenge in life, is to carry that with us, because we have those moments when we feel that godliness, but then to carry it with us every day, even in the mundane activities that we're doing.
So what happened on Matan Torah? What happened?
People, they elevated their soul, and they were really clean from physically, mentally, emotionally, getting ready to receive the Torah. And God came down and they met each other on the surface.
So there was a meeting that happened.
Yes.
There was a meeting that happened. Up to that point, it says that the spiritual had its own thing and the physical has its own realm. There was the spiritual realm and there was the physical realm. On Matan Torah, on Har Sinai, what happened for the first time is that the blueprint of the world changed. There was a new genetic coding that was being put into the universe, into this world, through us. And that is the integration of physical and spiritual. The integration, not the separation. The integration. The integration of holiness with the mundane. The integration of that which is like every day with that which is scarce and rare. The integration. What God dreams of us is the integration. To be able to integrate those things that are holy with the things that are mundane and bring it together. It's integration. It's bringing together. It's making it united. We are the only creatures in the universe that question things, that question ourselves, and we don't know what we are supposed to do. Angels know exactly what they are supposed to do. They know the mission they are here for. They know that the light they are in. They know exactly who they are, and what they are supposed to do. Animals, look at ants. Look at an ant colony. They know who they are. They know the soldiers. They know the workers. They know the ant queen. They know who's going to get food. They know who's going to do what. And they do it in such order. It's magnificent. And nobody questions anything. Look at an ant colony. Look at the bee colony. The queen bee and the soldiers and the ones that fly around it and the ones that go get the pollen and the ones that make the honey and the ones that make the wax. Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. How is it that we don't know? How is it that we have a consciousness and we don't know? We wake up with so many questions. We go to sleep with so many questions. How is it that we don't know that I get up and this is what I'm supposed to do? And no matter what's in my way, this is what I'm doing. The ant knows it has to go get food. There are obstacles around it. It goes around the obstacles. It doesn't sit there and, say, God is bad to me. Doesn't say that, doesn't question
That's
that.
because we have intelligence, we have a brain, and everybody wants to be at the highest. Everybody wants to be the queen.
God give us freedom of choice.
Yes, free will. Because
We
you
have
make
free
that
will.
free will.
The greatest gift that we human beings have been endowed with is the gift of freedom of choice.
Maybe the gift or maybe the curse.
It could be both, yes. Yes, yes,
The curse, I think.
yes. Absolutely. On the day before Shavuot, which is the 49th day, Shavuot is given on the 50th day. 50, every day is one day, one gate of understanding. Every day that we are walking towards Shavuot, we are gaining one level of understanding, or we are entering through another gate of understanding. On Shavuot is the 50th gate of understanding. We don't count it. Hashem counts it. Once we enter it, we are in it. But we need to pass through these 49 gates in order to get to the 50th gate. Now, it's fascinating because the 49th day is Malchut of Malchut, which is, it could be two things. It could be either the lowest of the low, or it could be the crown of the crown. It could be two things. The lowest of the low, the physicality of the physicality. Malchut is the physical, is the earth. It is our physicality. It's what we are in it. It is the physical of the physical, and at the same time, it could be the keter of the keter. It could be the crown of the crowns. So you see the dichotomy there. The freedom of choice could be both. It's what we choose to do with it. It is to take that physicality of the physical and elevate it to the crown of crown. elevate that to the crown of crown. The 10 commandments that we are given on Shavuot is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. It is not, if that were God's dream for us, it's his dream for us to get it and then move with that. It's like we are on different layers and then we go from one to another, and from here we move. We don't come back to here. From here we move. It's to integrate that physicality and elevate it to the crown.
Why is there's no in between? Why is it either very low or very high?
Because the in-between is the in-between. The in-between can neither go here nor there. You take that physical and you elevate it to the highest of the high. I'll get to that later, I hope. I'll get to that later. No, that's okay. And if we take a look at the sign of the month is twins. We have the month of Nisan, which is a lamb. It's docile. It just, goes with the crowd. It's docile. It goes with the group, which is great. Not that it's a bad thing. It's great, but it's going with the crowd. You have the next month, the month of Iyar, which we are in. It's an ox. It's got energy, but if it's not harnessed, it can cause destruction. But if it's harnessed, there is a lot of energy there. So you have a ram, you have an ox, and this month you have twins. You have human beings standing side by side. The greatest relationship we can have with Hashem is a relationship of twins. That we stand as a human being with our neshama, with our soul, with our godliness, and we have that relationship that we are always, there is always a twin next to us. That we are not alone. And we are neither the ram, we are neither the lamb that's docile and following a crowd, nor the ox that has so much energy that can just do whatever that it wants. It's the human with consciousness, with awareness, with mindfulness, with godliness, and able to bring all these aspects together. The sense of the month. What do you think the sense of the month is? It's walking. The sense of the month is walking. It's progress. We never stop progressing. Moshe Rabbeinu, on his last day, on the last day of him being alive, he wrote 13 Torahs. 13. On his last day. We never stop progressing. There is always more, there is always greater, there is always higher, there is always more connection. There is always more potential. This is an infinite universe. And God, we being in his dream, he dreams of us to never stop walking. To never stop walking. And it doesn't matter where we are at. And it doesn't matter how old we are. And it doesn't matter how our circumstances are. To never stop walking. to never stop progressing, to never stop becoming. Life is precious because we can always walk. We can always become. We can always evolve. We are in His dream because we are the only ones in the universe that through freedom of choice can choose to bring the highest of the high, which are the angels, to the lowest of the low, which is the animalistic characteristics that we can have, and bring them together and integrate them. We are in His dream because our consciousness, our awareness, and our mindfulness can actually affect this universe, can actually make changes within this universe. Our prayers, our thoughts, our just our wanting and desiring can have an effect on the universe. We are the only ones that can do this through freedom of choice. And how much power is to that? And in God's dream, He wants us to be aware of that. Just like what you said, the mountain over our head, not like a mountain over our head, but rather to be aware of that inheritance that we have. The letter Nun, which is the 50th gate, is also neshama. We can reach that level only with our neshama, because that's our inheritance. That's our inheritance. That's who we are. And to recognize it and to understand it and to walk with that, to be the walkers. You know, angels are called standers. They stand. They are standing in one place because they can't elevate. They can't become more. They can't evolve. We are the only ones that are called walkers because we are the only ones that can progress. We are the only ones that can change our habits. We can change even our history by the way we look at it. We are the only ones that can change. The angels are the angels. They are magnificent, but they are the standards, and the animals are the animals. They, in their own way, are magnificent because they know what to do. Part of Hashem's creation, but we are the only ones that through freedom of choice can choose that inheritance within us and choose to walk as twins. That's a very high state of being, but we can. That's what we are given. And God in His dream wants us to become aware of that. That we can. That we too, just like Moshe Rabbeinu, just like all the people who heard Hashem's voice, to be able to stand there and hear Hashem's voice. And not to walk from back to here again, but walk on a higher standard, on a higher level, and from there lead our life. I don't know. We will never know. But I am a firm believer that our destinies can be changed. And I am a firm believer that we are partners with Hashem. We are not His robots.
How we can change?
How we can change? I think it's a process, and it's a process of consciousness, but the change comes by change within ourselves. That's the only way the change can come. But, yeah.
I think God gives you many paths. And I think your destiny is depending on which path you decide to take. That's why you have a brain. And sometimes, you see how they say some people get very lucky? Maybe just by chance they went the other path and they ended up with glory. I don't know, that's.
So it's a complicated. This is it's a 2-3 hour discussion, and we will never get to the end of it because there are so many
It
things.
doesn't mean if something bad happens to somebody, they are a bad person.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No,
Not at all. God when standing as a twin, it's to know that we are guided and we have support. When we are standing as a twin does not punish, but wants the best, right? You're a twin, you know. So it is, just lost my train of thought for a second. The twin does not punish. The twin is the support, is our guide, is our hand in hand. And it all of it starts. You know where all of it starts? All of it starts with I am Hashem who took you out of the land of Egypt, with the first commandment. The first commandment, you ask, how can this even be a commandment? It's a statement. The first commandment, it says, I am Hashem who took you out of the land of Egypt. How can that be a commandment? What am I supposed to do with that? Because that's the act of faith. Everything starts with that. Everything starts with that. I am Hashem who took you out of the land of Egypt. I am Hashem who took you out of slavery. I am Hashem who is with you in your sorrow. I am Hashem who is with you in your pain. I'm Hashem who is with you in your success. I'm Hashem who is with you wherever you are and whatever you do. I am Hashem who and complete the rest of it. I am Hashem in your marriages. I'm Hashem in your children's marriages. I'm Hashem. So the first of that foundation, to be the walker that we are supposed to be, is to walk with that faith and to be attached to it, just like a twin, and never let go. Never let go. As difficult as it might be sometimes, to never let go. So the letter of the month is Zayin. If you look at a Zayin, it's a stand. It's a straight line with a crown on top of it. I'm sorry, I can hear you from here. I'm sorry. Sorry. The letter Zayin is a straight line with a crown on top of it. That is for us receiving the crown on Matan Torah. We receive the crown. It is to become aware of that crown. Each one of us can either be the Malchut of Malchut, which can be the dirt of the dirt. By the way, the same numerical value for Mashiach is for the snake, Nachash. Nachash and Mashiach has the same numerical value. Mashiach is the crown, Nachash is the dirt on the ground. It is up to us. It is up to our consciousness. It is up to our mindfulness, up to our awareness to take that which is the low of the low and bring it and elevate it into the crown. There is nothing on this earth, there is nothing in this world that cannot be elevated. There is no darkness that cannot be transformed. It might take time. It needs patience, as somebody said. It needs strength and koach. It needs togetherness. It needs our heart being one. We stood together as one. All of us, we stood together as one. There was no dissociation between any one of us. There were 12 tribes. All the tribes stood as one nation, as one family. 2 million people, one family. And God's dream for us is exactly that. The one family with many songs to make the beautiful orchestra that we can make. The one family with many different missions and with many different purposes, each one of us with our own strengths and each one of us with our own impact onto this earth. This is God's dream for us, but as a twin. Walking as a twin, hand in hand together, and hand in hand together with Hashem. The greatest relationship is that of a twin. And that's what we want to accomplish. If we know what we want from life, life wants from us to progress. Life wants from us to walk, not to be stagnant. Life wants from us to bring all aspects of our life together. That's why we do not forget. Because all aspects of our life need to come together. All of them. Those parts that we think are not good, and those parts that I think are painful, and those parts that are very challenging, and those parts that are beautiful and magnificent. All of it needs to come together as one life. It's not separate lives, it's together. And this is the integration that is necessary. We need the integration that's necessary, not as separate, but as one, even within ourselves, in order to be elevated and to walk a path that's on a higher level. We are walkers. And if we go away with anything from today, is that there is no circumstance, there is no situation, no circumstance that can stop us from progressing. Because this is what life wants from us. This is what God dreams for us. And even until our very last day, we have the possibility of evolving and becoming. And Moshe Rabbeinu did not reach the 50th gate on Matan Torah. He reached it on the last day of his life. Because it says that he is buried in Mount Nebo, which is the mountain of Nun, the mountain of the 50th gate. So let us, through our consciousness, through our mindfulness, through who we have been and where we want to go, through this dissonance that's between that which is a dream and that which has been, let us bring all of it together, and with mindfulness and choosing, with choice, to choose that which is good, to choose our inheritance, which is our souls, to choose that connection, because without the connection, we cannot claim our inheritance. We cannot. Without connection, we cannot claim our inheritance. To claim the inheritance which is ours. And on Matan Torah, on Shavuot, on the night of Shavuot, it becomes, if we are connected to it, it just becomes clear for us. We can see with the more of our vision. We have a greater vision if we are connected to it, of who we are, of where we are going, of the walkers that we are, and what we need to do here in order that life is precious. Not so I enjoy my life, and that we should, but that's a path. It's a path to the connection, and it's a path to the higher elevation. Thank you very much for being here.